just doing a little traveling today, and I'm pretty excited. And the reason why is that I completed all the chapters for the new book, 0 Point Ultimate Truth is Love, and it's all being edited, and no big release or anything like that. Just like private beneath the scenes, just gonna get it out there. And this won't even be listed probably on the internet in terms of like Amazon or any of the other places that we usually list books. Most likely I'll keep it as like the private reserve, referral based only. And the idea here is that it's just going to be like freely given, including the training techniques and all that stuff. And the reason why is because I feel like every new person that learns this, without even making a big deal about it, it's just going to benefit their life to a great extent in a way that is so subtle and it's so behind the scenes. And that's all I want to say about it. There's nothing else that you really should say about it. It's just really cool. It's helped me have a very good experience even during the midst of the crazy 2020, all that stuff that's been happening. And so that's done. And, well, I'm still using it. And I use the technique every day that the book will outline and actually expand upon and give you all sorts of new insights. I'm sure you're going to get some new insights. But most importantly is I really think that God has done it. It's not me. I didn't do it. I'm not a genius. It's God is literally that good. And because I just turned to God and I asked and received, I believe that the wisdom is ready to meet the needs of anyone who reaches out and grabs a hold of this book. So the idea here is that when it becomes available, I think it'll be July 21st. Probably around July 21st will be the day that I launch it. Definitely pick it up. Buy a physical copy. We'll order them in-house and we'll ship them out. Maybe like $10 or something for a physical copy plus shipping. Every copy will be signed or autographed, so I'll autograph every copy that goes out that you guys pick up if you want them. And in the meantime, you'll be able to get the PDF, the instant PDF, so you can get started immediately, and then put the physical copy in your library or carry it with you. And along with the physical copy, you get the worksheets that come along, which is kind of cool. So it's kind of like a playbook built in right into the book, which is what you want. Is you want something you can work with, and also to journal and to record your experiences. That's going to be a massive foundational piece for you when you can record what God is doing based on you turning to God and using this wisdom. And when you look back after a few weeks of doing this, you'll probably notice a whole series of victories. And then as you progress further down the line, and months have gone by, and you'll most likely want to keep doing this because it's going to be enhancing every area of your life. The end goal is the kingdom of heaven that is here at hand. The end goal is to be living, moving, having your beingness in the full awareness that you are in the kingdom of heaven. Not just some, abstract, erroneous idea that, hey, one day, Jesus is going to come, and when Jesus comes, we're all going to be saved. That's an abstract, erroneous idea. First of all, Christ is a consciousness. It has already come, and all you have to do is get in alignment with it. And you can do that now. So that's the cool, exciting news. And it's really all I've been thinking about lately. And also the idea that we may go to Mount Shasta this year. We were going to go last year. So that may come into effect this year. Probably drive down and do it that way. And that is exciting, because what you'll read in the book is that a lot of the draw to Shasta, and I believe a lot of the inspiration, came from that, that energy of the I Am presence, the Saint Germain, and just even the coloring I put on there is the violet flame, purple coloring. And then I have the seal of Melchizedek, the 47th problem of Euclid, right on the cover. And all of this stuff lines up. But the simplicity of this technique, and the simplicity of putting it into your daily routine, and it's kind of an adventure. It's exciting. It's really actually exciting when you begin using it. It works on many levels. We draw the bread of life out. We extract it from the ether. Okay? Everything works in threes. We're operating always in that triad principle. We extract it out of the ether. Then we hold on to that bread of life. And it's that word that comes, that bread of life, that changes the alchemical structure of what you call outer reality, or the outer aeon realm. What you're doing is you're consuming matter within yourself. Matter is a belief. It's an idea. It's a belief in the superstition of materialism in a linear clock time progression. It's just a belief. It's not the true record or the true report. It is the counterfeit. And so the idea here is that we are moving from, you can imagine a line down the middle, from an unreal to a real position in our personal thought awareness. And remember the scripture, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs, that is the real, and that is the true. It is 100% verifiable and provable, and you use the technique, and then you discover the same foundational principle that Yeshua, who they called Jesus in the modern translations of the Bible. But we want to get into the same consciousness that Yeshua walked daily in, that same consciousness. And you're supposed to do that and even greater. I repeat, you're supposed to be able to do that and even greater. It's already ready for you right now. You don't have to do anything else. You're already qualified. Because it's not you that does anything. It is God that does all. That's the point. It's not whether you're good enough or not, or you're trained or seasoned enough, or, oh no, I did this bad thing, or I could have been a better whatever. None of that stuff means anything. Now is the moment. Now is the time of salvation. There's only now. So even a second ago, whatever you think happened is of no importance right now. This is the moment. And the technique allows you to collapse time into this moment and to bring your full awareness to this moment on the principal idea, the foundational capstone of truth itself. And by doing so, you burn away the haystack of lies, opinions, and ignorance that is the suffering state of mortal humanity. I'm really excited because of your potential in using this. I told everybody about this discovery last summer when it was coming to me, and I was under the duress, like you were, of 2020. But see, that was the resistance training that allowed me to use it and to keep using it and then to further develop and expand upon it. And God called together this workshop so I could be trained and I could bring out the full potential of this technique. And having already used it, seeing the floor raise and the ceiling raise, so that the good times got better and the bad times got better, I witnessed my own personal transformation in using the simplicity of this technique. And now it has been refined and brought into its distilled, finished product form. And it's ready for you to take it and to use it and to begin your journey out of Egypt, out of sorcery, out of the Babylonian debt slave matrix. It's an AI simulation. Man becomes what he sees. You see, what you focus on, what you reflect upon, man is a medium for truth or error. We need to break the continuity of the evidence and provide a replacement of truth for all of the erring human superstitious lies that your five senses have led you off into the wilderness believing. Isn't that amazing that it all happens in your personal thought? It's like, wow, you were there to begin with. You never left heaven. How did you know this, Matthew? How did you know 3 years ago that when you said, I never left heaven, how did you know that was the truth? It's because people that have discovered the science of what Christ is demonstrably provable to do, which is to set you free, everyone who has stumbled upon it has been saying it all along. The true man of God, the living man, not the dead carcass in a corporeal fiction, corporation, meat sack, all capital letters name, all of this garbage. The true living man of God never left heaven because he is, he, she, the manifestation, that's the word man, is the perfect reflection of divine love. And I'll give you an example of this. One word from God can change everything in your outer experience. One single word. So how critical do you think it would be to get that one word and to know how to mechanically step into a process where you could extract it at will, on command, on demand, at leisure, at rest, and demonstrate the perfect activity of God, the fulfillment of all true heart's desires? See, today I woke up this morning and the mesmeric belief of carnal thinking had me believing that I had pain in this body. There's a host of reasons. Perhaps I work out too hard, perhaps I do too much, etc. That's human logic. Human logic is what this superstitious realm of fiction corporeal meat sack illusion, the blind leading the blind. This is the trickery of the devil, which is reasoning away from first principle idea, which is divine truth. I'm not going to believe any of that garbage. So I took the bread of life this morning, and you know what came to me? Man's body is the same body as God's, because man is the reflection. Instantly the pain disappeared when the bread came. Instantly the truth dispelled the lie and destroyed the fiction. The power of God is a double-edged sword, and it comes and it destroys error. How would you like that same power? You already have that power. How would you like to seize that power, bring it into your daily habits that become your destiny, and to raise the floor and raise the ceiling in your personal human experience? We are just days away from getting this book in your hands. I want you to have this book. I want you to love this book as much as I loved writing it. The first few chapters, the first 5 chapters, are a cover-all experience to pound these ideas that are going to have to be your bedrock foundation into your mind, into your awareness. I need you to get a hold of all of these ideas. Not just abstract conceptual knowledge, but contemplating them, witnessing how it is the eternal, verifiable, factual basis of all reality, and then a complete shift over, a complete upgrade in your consciousness takes place. Once this upgrade in your consciousness takes place, the use of the technique, the PTT, perfect your timing or perfect timing technique, in its distilled, completed form, is your weapon that allows you to use the fulcrum, the whole fulcrum power of the only thing that is yours that God gave you. Everything else belongs to God. What do you think God gave you? God gave you free will to choose between error or truth. And guess where that happens? Up here, allegedly, because you think you have a brain. You don't have anything physical. You don't have an ounce of anything because you live, move, and have your being in God. You're a reflection of God's allness, but you have free will. Now, the fulcrum of power is the use, or I should say the correct use, of free will. This is the one move that defeats your enemy. There's only one move. Everything else that you will attempt will fail you because you have no power. As a mortal in a world of perceived duality, you are operating in a jurisdiction that is of the flesh. It is sin and death according to Romans 8. Do not operate in that jurisdiction and try to win, because it's a kangaroo court and it will destroy you. You will lose every time without fail or exception, because the wages of sin are always death. And sin is a turning away from truth toward error in your personal thought. That is what the Bible personifies as Satan. It's the turning away in your personal thought from something God knows to be true about God, the allness of all of creation. There is no other power, presence, mind, or activity. There's only God, the good. Anything outside of that is carnality, it is sin, and it leads you into fear, confusion, lack of trust, double-mindedness, and division, and it is your certain downfall. By choice, mind you, because of the improper use of free will. So the fulcrum of power is free will. It is the one move, when used correctly, that destroys your adversary by removing jurisdiction and setting you up high under the realm and protection of the Most High, because you identify as God Himself made manifest in a spiritual capacity that knows nothing unlike itself. And that destroys all claims of ignorance and error and superstition because of the law of the Spirit that sets you free from the law of sin and death. So welcome to the New Jerusalem. Get the book, use the technique, don't take my word for it. Let every man be a liar and the word of God true, and watch God move.